Boys and girls, today is the day. It's the Chappell Hill Bank Classic road race today. It's the biggest race in Texas. The fields are huge. Prize money's huge. It's an awesome course. Heads up out of Chappell Hill to the north. Does a lollipop about, I'd say 19 miles in. There's actually, this race has a KOM checkpoint also. So the KOM winner gets a KOM jersey. It's the race I've been training for all year. And while my fitness has fallen off over the last few weeks, I started taking evening classes for an additional certification at work. My kids started walking about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then Hurricane Harvey happened here in Houston. So needless to say, my training has taken a little bit of a dip, and I'm not quite where I wanted to be. But the truth is, a little more than a year ago, probably about 16 months ago, I was walking my bike up the last hill on this course. So to be out here and racing in the 35 plus category against some of the strongest riders in the state, just to be able to come out here and do this race is a giant step forward for me. And I'm looking forward to it. My 3 keys to today's race. Number 1 is don't make this more than it is. It's a big deal. I've obviously aimed my training all year towards it. If I flatted and couldn't finish the race or something like that, or fell off the pack from a mechanical, I'd be super disappointed, because I'd like to see where I am after a season of training for one specific event. But at the same time, as I said earlier, it's just to be able to come and do this is a victory for me. So it's just one race. It's my first season of racing. In my head, I really want to win this race or win the KOM. But let's be a little bit more realistic. Let's keep some perspective and understand that I'm just here to do the best that I can. And, we always tell ourselves that, but this race especially, because I'm so jacked up for it, keep it in perspective. Number 2, and this is something that was part of my flight plan last time that I didn't do too well, stop chasing everything. Don't do all the work. We've got 10 racers from our team, myself plus 9. I don't need to chase everything down this time. I told myself that last time too, and I still ended up chasing down more attacks than I needed to. I wasn't racing really smart. Part of that's from experience. But this race especially, I know I'm going to be itching to go after some of the attacks, especially if there's some stronger riders that go, just because I'm not going to want to let them get up the road and give away my race early. But I have to stay within myself. I have to trust my teammates to do some things. I have to know when it's my turn to do things. I have to race smarter and not burn so much so early. And number 3 is accept the result. If I go for the KOM 19 miles in and I get destroyed on it, I'm going to have burned some matches, and then there's a whole big long race to go, and there's a good chance that not winning the KOM would, snowball on me mentally. If I'm 20 back and there's a breakaway of 8 up the road that we can't bring back, and I'm starting to dread that, whatever happens, just accept it. Give my best race and be happy with that. Those are the 3 things I want today. And any result above and beyond that or below that, that's fine. Warm-up's done, numbers pinned on, about to race.
Still.
There were well over 40 riders in this race, so most of the day the pack was fairly crowded. It was very surgy, lots of tapping on the brakes, lots of watching out for people who slowed way down on the climbs. But for the most part, it was a fairly safe race. I only was bumped 4 or 5 times, and there were a few close calls on wheels and brakes in front of me. The guy you see in front of me there in the all orange with the orange kit and orange bike, that guy nearly forced me over the yellow line probably 3 or 4 different times. I got real tired of riding next to him. But for the most part, all the riders were pretty competent, pretty safe. And other than being fairly surgy and fairly heavy on the brakes, it was a good race. And we picked up the pace probably about 3 or 4 miles out of town. And then halfway through the first lollipop, really started to put the pace down right after the first King of the Mountain attempt. This guy on my right here in the black and yellow kit is the one who eventually takes off on a solo break and wins the whole thing by a minute, but that didn't happen until probably 12 or 13 miles to go. The guy was just really strong when he took off. I don't think any of us saw it coming. We chased down another attack from Scott, a Shama rider, several times, but no one was willing to chase Ben down when he went, and so he just got away. And here you can see it's a little surgy like most races are, where we have these little fake speed ups, and then all of a sudden everything slows way down as soon as you hit the most mild of gradient. A lot of these people, I don't think, were real happy to see so many rollers in this race. So here's the King of the Mountain competition coming up. Kevin Franklin on our team told me I wanted to be about 10th wheel back, so I follow this guy up the left side. It's just past this turn, I know, and you can see we're kind of gapped out here a little bit, and so I just try to follow these wheels up and stay about 10th or so. I think I'm about the 8th wheel right now, but you can see we're still pretty gapped, and I'm feeling, I wasn't sure if I was going to go for this. I've got a lot of adrenaline. I'm just telling myself before the race not to do anything stupid. I'm waiting, and then this guy kind of goes, and I end up a little bit out front, and I'm still not going real hard, but this guy's pinning it, and we're not even to the base of the hill yet, and it's a long climb. And I look back, and the one guy that everyone told me to worry about, you can see the hill coming up, is still a ways back, and he's kind of stuck on the inside. So I'm thinking, okay, when this guy pulls over, I'm going to make a dummy attack and check back and see where he is. And so this guy kind of burns out right here. He went really early. And here I just kind of put it down for, about 10 pedal strokes. Right here I let up. I kind of look over my shoulder, and Carlos, the guy I didn't want to fight, is about 2 wheels back. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe that guy goes. I'm waiting, and then I'm like, no, because there it goes. There goes Carlos, and he was outside of me, and there was no way I was going to get onto his wheels, so I've already laid up at this point, which I'm a little disappointed in. I don't think I could have beat him the way I played it, but I didn't play it well at all. So kudos to him for being super strong and sitting in until the right moment. And, next time I'll be a little bit smarter about understanding where to be in something like that when I want to go. So, and you can see the pack kind of filters out here. There's still about 25-30 guys behind us that are kind of laboring to get up this hill and catch back on. I thought for sure that there would be more separation between the people going for the KOM here and the rest of the pack, but I mean, for most of the day, the whole group stayed together. It was pretty impressive. Now everyone's laying up here after the effort, but the group really didn't get strung out like I thought it would. This is with about 20 miles to go. You can see 2 of my Northwest Cycling teammates in the frame with me. We had 10 guys in this race. One of the unfortunate things, I think, is that we raced as 10 individuals really at no point during the race, other than in small isolated incidences, did we work together or as a team to do anything, and there wasn't really an overarching plan for us to do anything or put any particular people on the podium. We did end up with one rider in 4th and one rider in 12th, but for the most part we were kind of a team of individuals. But it was still nice to have a lot of familiar faces and wheels you can trust out there, and to get to know a few other teammates that I hadn't raced with before. So one of the downsides, though, of this race is I don't have the finish. The last 5 miles, I pressed the button on the GoPro, and it just didn't catch anything. I don't know why the battery died so early, but it did. And unfortunately, I took off. I put down an attack at mile 47 out of 50. I mean, just laid it down on the last big hill. Went over 800 watts. Was holding about 350, 360 watts for the next minute after that. Got away up the hill. Because I had told myself that I wasn't going to be able to win the sprint. And so I figured with 3 miles to go, I was going to make my move. I gapped the field, and they promptly brought me back.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm a little confused by your tactics.
I'm a little confused by my tactics, too. I kept telling myself that I wasn't going to be able to win a sprint finish because I'm not a great sprinter. But the truth is, I got off the front pretty easily on that hill. I mean, I had more than enough power to do it. And this finish to this course was a long, substantial hill, too. You know, logically, what I was able to do on my attack at 47, I should have been able to put down something similar if I would have had the space to do it at the end of the race. I didn't think about that. I thought I was making a gamble, all or nothing. I didn't want to sprint for 10th or 15th. I figured I was making a play to get away, which obviously failed. When in the reality, I should say, of the situation is that I should have made that play at the end of the race, and it was a mistake. It was a mistake in retrospect, but that's something I've learned. So how'd it go, fellas?
It was fun.
Yeah?
Too much fun.
Too much fun. No, it was a good race. These guys all put in some work today.
Perry's changing.
Yeah. See if we can't get a shot of Perry's butt. That'll make the Pedal Pros video. How you doing, Wayne? Yeah, give me something good. What do we got? Thank you, sir. Well, that didn't quite go the way I expected it to. I kind of got stuck in the bunch. I was probably sitting mid-pack with about 4 miles to go at the big hill. I hope I got it on video. With 3 miles to go, I put down everything I had, went off the front, made an attack, got away, couldn't hold it. The group was determined to chase me down, and that was my race. I made the right decision, I think. I think I would have been sprinting for, somewhere between probably 8th and 18th place at the end. And instead, I decided to go for broke and try to win. Ended up finishing 30th, which I said I wouldn't be disappointed, but I'm disappointed. I wasn't the 30th best racer today, and I made a stupid decision. In retrospect, it was a stupid decision. It was the right decision at the time, but it feels bad now, given how it turned out. I learned some stuff today, which is good. It's the end of my first year of road racing. I'm not sure if I'm doing the state championship race next weekend, so this may end up being my last road race of the season. I didn't do a lot of work, so I had fresh legs. I made the move I thought I had to move. I should be happy. It's just so hard to see 30th on the results page and see, 20 to 25 guys ahead of me that I know I was stronger than today. But that's racing. You learn some stuff, you get stronger, you get better, you get smarter. Honestly, today's race was, for the first 40 some odd miles, much easier than I expected it to be. which is that's not arrogance. I thought I was going to be really hurting based on my training and fitness over the last month and a half, and I didn't put in really, honestly, any work until I had to chase down an attack with about 10 miles to go, and then the attack I put down with about 3 or 4 miles to go. Other than that, it was a pretty good race for me, honestly. I think this course suits me. I think next year, when I come back, having been disgusted with my 30th this year, I think this is going to be a strong race for me. I'm going to take that away from this, and I feel good. I feel great going home. So, not a bad effort.